Hello to my Leos. I'm glad that I checked the readings, as I did not see something up there for you all. So maybe the last video I uploaded did not go up. Okay, here we go. All right, let's get into your reading, Leos. Let's get right into your reading. Hopefully you're having a great weekend, Leos. For those of you all who celebrate Easter, happy Easter. Reading is for the 20th through the 27th, 28th of April. We had a full pink moon in Libra. Libra actually rules 7th house. 7th house is all about marriage, relationships, partnerships, business contracts, inner desires, and enemies. You really want to get to know the houses in your birth chart. So you all rule 5th house. And 5th house is all about romance, creativity, children, projects, fun, self-expression, hobbies, what makes you feel good, those kind of things, right? So, yeah, you want to know, you want to make sure when you're, out here shining bright, that somebody's not squinty-eyed looking at you, seeing you as an enemy when y'all apart, right? And make sure you're not your own worst enemy, not paying attention. About trying to create some kind of structure, so you be able to discern. But remember, the sun illuminates the moon, and so you want to be able to make sure you're getting your proper rest. And that's why I talk about like pouring into yourselves when you feel like your water is getting low, your energy is getting low. Pouring into yourself, getting your rest, knowing what your moon sign is, what sets you apart from every other Leo on the planet. So if you're pouring into yourself, you know how to properly pour into yourselves. You'll get a good feel of the energies all around you. People are being sincere, with their feelings about you, or if they're not, right? Let's get into it. Yeah. I love and accept myself. Yeah, love and accept myself. Yeah. Love and accept myself. All right, let's get it. Yeah, some people really have high vibrating feelings about you, but you won't know that if you are connected to energies who have something unresolved within themselves about, let's say, for instance, you're friends with somebody who don't like particular zodiac signs, right? And they have unresolved something within themselves, and they're projecting that onto you, and you're caught up in their karmic cycle, right? So 555, you're making some major changing. So as I said, feelings, this color orange right here connects us with the auric layer, the emotional auric layer. And speaking of auric layers, I did put something on like how to cleanse your auric layer on my TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, and then also on Instagram if you want to go check it out. So here we have major change. Get your mindset right for what's to come. Your angels are alerting you to new energy coming your way. So change can be seen as a negative thing, but with the right mindset and the right alignment to your goals, it's actually your angel's way of readjusting your life to fit your desires. Life will look different when you get what you want. Take a shower or bath, and this is one of the things I have listed under aura cleansing. Using water to purify your mind and body and promote your mental alignment with the great things that are on their way to you. Yeah. So I was just trying, in the middle number in numerology in the single digits is 5, right? So this is like the midpoint for you to either go back to feeling a certain way about something, or what's going to push you moving forward in a positive direction, right? Push you in a negative direction or a positive direction moving forward. So you got some changes just coming your way. 3 energies, right? Major changes coming your way. So let's get into it. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, nobody has any competition. There is no one like you. No one. No one's like you. If somebody even try, I'm telling you, and this is not ego. I'm not boosting anybody's ego. I'm trying to tell you, Leos, if somebody tried their hardest to be you, they can put on a costume like they dressed up like you and they couldn't be you. And I'm talking about even if it was your twin. And I'm talking about actually y'all were born the same day, came out the same womb. Not at the same time, obviously. Somebody may be a minute older than you are. They may have come out. They couldn't be you. Y'all don't have the same auric fingerprint. I talked about auric layers. I mean, like your aura, your energy, they don't have the same. Y'all have two different birth charts. I even did it in the birth chart teaching. Y'all are not the same. Y'all can look alike. You have identical and fraternal twins or whatever, like twins, triplets, quadruplets, whatever. So love and accept yourself as you are. So there's some major changes coming your way. Right? So get your mindset right. You're going to the next level. You're going to the next level. You're resolving something within yourself in terms of like, you're learning how to move forward in love without energies. You're learning how to use your fire properly. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. My reading, my information is below in the description. Let's get it. Emotionally, you're about to feel like you hit the jackpot. A lot of your wishes are being fulfilled, believe it or not, and it's because you're going through this major change in your life. This number 9, meaning you're ending some relationships because you're creating something new for yourself. You're creating something new for yourself. So, yeah, major changes. Somebody may be expressing their feelings to you, that they love you and they accept you just the way you are. It's not a comparison. Somebody is something unique about you, and people keep trying to tell you, oh, what's unique about you. It shouldn't take somebody saying they like you more than they like somebody else. It could literally be saying that they just like you or love you for who you are. It shouldn't even have to say because you're better than someone else. Like, for real, they just love you for who you are. Okay, even if you're sitting right next to your twin, it shouldn't be because you look better, you're smarter, you're this. They just love you for who you are. That's it. That's it, and that's all. That's it, and that's all. Right? Yeah, that's it, and that's all. So you have a lot of gifts and talents. This is the 6 of Cups here. A lot of gifts and talents. The baton is being passed to you. There it is. All right. Here's the 8 of. So something is happening fast. It's you're breaking away from two karmics. You're breaking away from two karmics. There's who easily lose focus. One has succumbed to passive and powerless behavior. The other one is egotistical, materialistic, and forceful. Right. When they're apart from each other, they just, like I said, like I said, you're moving on. They're enemies, and it's obvious that they're enemies of each other. Like they hate each other, so you're moving on. Yeah, moving on. Here's the Lover's card. Yeah. You're moving on. Here's a Hierophant card, and that's something that you can connect with. That's something that you may have experienced, right? That's something that you may have experienced. So you're moving on from something. So it's time to thrive. It's time to thrive. Time to thrive. Time to thrive. Time to thrive. Right. Move on from any foolishness. Move on from any foolishness. Move on. Move on. Move on. Move on. Rise above any judgment that's operating in the flesh. Something is generational. Something is generational. Something is generational. Yeah, here's a Chariot card. So when you're at a crossroad and you feel like people are judging you for whatever, their belief system about something, you're confused about whatever. Somebody talking about you behind your back, whatever. This is what Source is saying. A lot of your wishes are being fulfilled. You want to focus on your uniqueness and loving and accepting yourself. You don't want to mirror confusion. That's right there. You don't want to get involved in confusion. You want to get as far away from it as fast as you possibly can. Get as far away from that as possible. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Take a page out of other people's book. Some people are moving. You need to do the same thing. Get packing. Get packing. Some people don't want to be involved in that kind of mess. They just get moving. They don't even want to be involved in it. That's their wit. They prayed about it. They got moving. They just moved on. They don't even want to be involved in it. They're not running from anything. They just move. They just like, don't want to be involved. They move on. It's a wish fulfilled from them, for them. They're responsible on their own. They get focused and they move. So somebody is rising above any judgment around marriage or whatever the case may be. They're not obsessed with believing lies about people and all of this other stuff. Somebody just balanced out. Remember, the polarity to this is Aries. We're not talking about any Aries that you know. Whenever you hear me mention zodiac signs, I'm also referring to the houses that the signs rule, right? We're not talking about a person. So I'm talking about polarity signs. Like, for instance, the polarity sign to Taurus would be Scorpio, and Scorpio rules judgment card, right? The polarity sign to Cancer, which is this right here, would be Capricorn. The polarity sign to Gemini, I believe, would be Sagittarius, right? But this polarity sign to this would be Aries, which is a very independent sign. Aries rules first house, and this rules seventh house, right? So I'm just saying, when you're dealing with energies who are where for you if something is confusing, first of all, remove yourself from the confusion. That's the first thing. Like, you don't want to be involved in confusion. You got stuff to do for yourself. You don't want to be you don't want to be stuck at number 5. You don't want to be stuck at number 4. Remove yourself from the confusion. You got stuff to do. You like clarity. You like clarity. You got stuff to do. You inherited a lot of gifts and talents. You're a very creative energy. You got inherited a lot of gifts and talents. You're rising above any kind of judgment as far as marriage is concerned. Just right here, marriage. When you're at a crossroad right here and you have things in common with other people, you're not judging people. Hey, look, hey, that's your story too, whatever, cool. You move on, right? If you've had lovers, hey, you're not a fool. You know how it works, whatever. You ain't judging nobody. You moving on. You're getting a lot of your wishes fulfilled. You moving on. Nobody judging who for what. Right? You moving on. You can be paused for a second. You see the light and darker situation. You're not sitting on a high horse like this right here. You just pause for a second. You're like, okay, you inherited a lot of gifts and talents. You moving on. And you move on quickly. You say, you know what? You're not a bully. You got your own stuff to carry. You're trying to travel light through life. And you move on. You're thriving behind closed doors. Even if people assume something else is going on behind closed doors, you thriving behind closed doors. You're not responsible for what people think you got going on behind closed doors. The end. Period. You moving on. And that's what somebody is learning how to do. Come out of your feelings and move on. You love and accept yourself. The end. The end. That's it, and that's all. And that's what's going to keep somebody winning in life. Right there. That's you. Right there. That's why a lot of your wishes are being fulfilled. Yeah. Because you learn how to close out cycles in love and enforce boundaries. You're keeping people out of your business. There it is. All right, Leos. Learn how to keep people out of your business. Yeah. You have a window of opportunity right here. Wide open for you. See, somebody, just see this bus right here? You learn how to get off the bus when you're dealing with people who talk about people behind their back. Or, like I said before, that's not what motivates you. That's not, you're thinking global, internationally. All of that small-minded right here, you're not a teenager, who just on the bus, chit-chatting on the bus, right? You're thinking global. And that's it. That's it. You done travel the world, passport stamp, boom, boom, boom. You got stuff to do. You don't have time for all of that other conversation, right? So that's what I'm seeing for you. Some kind of a partnership in business and partnership in love is coming across your path. Y'all have a lot of things in common. You're rising above a lot of things. Somebody could be getting married. If you've already been married before, you could be getting married again. Who knows? I don't know. But you're, like I said, you're enforcing boundaries, keeping people out of your business. You're getting away from energies who are shady, spiritually immature. They have limited spiritual beliefs. This is the year 9. You've risen above a lot of things. The 9th house is all about higher education, philosophy, spiritual laws. That's what we talk about. People have Religion is all about ethics, morals, personal beliefs, spiritual beliefs. It's not about how many degrees somebody has, who has more degrees than others. All of this other stuff. Source is saying you're trying to expand your knowledge. Some people you can't even have a basic conversation about when you talk about spirituality. They, like I said, without them bullying some people about some stuff. You're like, okay, conversation over. Anyway, so you talk about people, you talk about candles, you talk about auric layers, you talk about this and that. All of a sudden, you going to hell in a handbasket with gasoline panties on. So whatever. So yeah. So you're his page of wands here. So you're getting a message that you're free. You're free from people being shady. You're just a free spirit. Period. So yeah, that's a message, right? You're moving on from any kind of past heartbreak. Moving on from all of that. So some major changes is happening. So that's a decision. A decision is making. You're rising above the judgment. Yeah, you're free. So somebody just feels like certain things are this way, their way or the highway. They were obsessed with something. They were obsessed with, like I said, their own kind of judging somebody in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Just obsessed with creating something. So behind somebody's back. So a team, you're leading some kind of a team. You're in talks with some kind of, you're a leader. I mean, you're all the leaders anyway, but you're leading some kind of a team. You're leading some kind of a team. Because I feel like somebody was blindsided by two people. It's 7, 8, 9. To stop somebody from talking. To create some kind of a nightmare. Somebody created a nightmare. To stop somebody from talking. There's a temperance card here. This right here is what we're talking about, like 9th house, right? Stop somebody from talking. But you see something from a higher frequency. You're in terms of like spirituality and spiritual law, and like how things can karmically travel through lifetimes. The Judgment card connects us with Pluto. Pluto is the outermost planet. It's the outermost planet, right? So we're talking about multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income. So a lot of income was coming in. And there's other ways of creating multiple streams of income, like writing books, candle businesses, aloe vera, and so people can choose what they choose to keep with them and what they choose to release, like in terms of cutting off, right? Again, change what they see as a negative and what they see as a positive, like what they choose to believe is a truth and what they choose to believe is a lie. So if a person says, okay, this is, people hear things that they want to hear, right? If a person says, okay, a person is making money by candles, they're selling candles, somebody can believe that's a truth, they can think it's a lie, right? So 3 and 8 is 11. 11 is a master number. Whenever you see 11 in any form, 11, 2 and 9, 3 and 8, 4 and 7, 5 and 6, 6 and 5, all the way back down to 9 and 2. So it's saying that's a call up from source to pause everything. You're in receiving mode of some kind of information trying to come through. You may not even know what kind of information. Like, well, did I ask a question about something? So it's just trying to get your attention to something. Like, get off the fence, make a decision about something. I'm trying to enlighten you about something. You got major changes coming through. You had a feeling about something. I'm trying to enlighten you about something. Yeah. You have a lot of ideas about something. And so I'm trying to give you some clarity about a lot of ideas you got coming through. You were confused about something. I'm trying to enlighten you about some ideas. And some of those ideas could have been about ideas about how to make extra money. You could have an idea about, should you write a book? Should you start a candle line? I don't know if this is potpourri, or, you have an idea of making, like putting gemstones and crystals in your candles, or writing a book, or this looks like aloe vera plants, whatever. Maybe you have, who knows, different type of, maybe you have candle holders. I don't know. But whatever it is, maybe somebody's applying for a leadership position. Maybe that's your main job at work, but then you have multiple streams of income. Maybe you creating whatever you're creating. Everything serves a purpose is my point here. Maybe you have horses. I don't know. But whatever it is that you have, people are going to believe people are going to believe what they want to believe. That's the point. Maybe you have hula hoops. This is like a hula hoop right here, for exercise purposes. So there are going to be some people who are going to look down on it because they feel like they have a better idea. Some people, and that's going to be your choice to rise above it and resolve something in you. Some people are going to feel like if they're not your partner in this, they're going to go right into being your enemy by default and going and trying to ruin it if they can't be your partner. So a lot of major changes are happening here in your cards. And that's the beauty of Venus being retrograde, is that you get a chance to slow down even with your shine and learning how to discern if you are your own worst enemy by not getting your rest, drinking your water, hydrating yourselves, to see what people's true feelings are about you. Some people are really not your enemy. Some people really are there to encourage and inspire and motivate you. And that's it. That's all they want to see you thrive. They don't want to see you in survival mode. So, Source is saying, get on top of some things. Looks like you're on top of some things. So there it is. Some of you all may have had some people, now you're starting to see things because the rose-colored glasses may be off. Some of you all have seen how some of the people that's closest to you have treated other people. That's an indication that, hey, if you step out of line, Leo, they're going to do the same thing to you. You maybe think, oh, it'll never happen to me. But some of you all have seen it in the workplace. We all have seen it in the workplace. Some managers in the workplace, they go right into attacking employees who want to just better their lives. They want to apply for a higher level position. They go right into a smear campaign. As soon as they leave, they want to do better for them, so they go into straight shade in the staff meetings. Y'all, I mean, who haven't been in staff meetings and heard it? Yeah, here we have dance. Employees feel blindsided. They go look for another job. They can't find another one. Everywhere they go, doors slammed. They don't know where it's coming from. They think they just leaving the job. They moving on. They interviewing. All kinds of stuff is happening. So you and your loved ones are safe. Your loved ones are safe. So again, this speaks to emotions, when you have feelings about things. Some of you all kind of sort of have when you have a feeling that like it's something like right in your solar plexus chakra that lets you know you have anxiety about something, like, should I move forward with something? No, I feel like I should use my fire responsibly. Like, when something feels like it could jeopardize your lifetimes, you know what I'm saying? Like your multiple lifetimes. Like it could cause you to be pulled into somebody else's karmic cycle. You like, nah. That's when you say, yeah, it's time for you to move on. Like, when to move on, right? Loss. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the egos. Sometimes you try to tell people, hey, listen, some things are not worth it. They don't want to listen. Their ego just take control over something. They can't control themselves. Some people feel like some things are their way or the highway. But that is when, and like I said before, look at that in your personal and your professional life. That is when you know you have a secret enemy, Leos. We have seen that in the workplace where we've seen it, period, where people will say that they're your friend, but they will drag you into some mess where they don't care whether they drag you down with them or not. Start paying attention. They will keep you in the dark about some stuff and will drag you down with them. And you get blindsided by some stuff and you sitting there confused as I don't know what. You're just confused. So don't force or push your way through life. Finding balance even in dark times will open your heart in the depth of compassion in everyday moments. In everyday moments. So read, right? Somebody's learning how to, like use your energy to kind of sort of maybe read more books on like emotional intelligence. That's what I'm saying here, moving forward. All right, that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. Somebody's learning how to put their energy in other ways. And again, I do have I have slides on my Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and what is the other one? TikTok, if I mentioned. Yeah, YouTube, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and all of my platforms, right? The how to cleanse your aura or auric layer, but it's just entitled like how to cleanse your aura, right? And that will help you to cleanse your aura so that you'll be able to discern, so you can start pouring into yourself, balancing things out, and that you're not attaching yourself to lifetimes generationally to other people's karma, including your siblings, your friends, your colleagues, where you're being balanced out, Leo energy. All right, bye.